breath and I kick my feet and I move my arms around, move my arms around.
Hey you guys, it's Luke here. The topic for this week is swimming. I just had an experience with swimming when I went on vacation to Savannah, Georgia. I was sort of at a loss as to what I would be wearing because so far in my transition I haven't run into any times when I've gone swimming or anything. So, what I wore, I wasn't altogether comfortable about the whole idea anyway, but I knew we'd be going to the beach as kind of like a family activity and stuff. So, I only have 2 binders, and they're not the best. And as I'm sure, most of you know, binders are not comfortable in hot weather. And when they get wet, they're, for some reason, or when you're sweating, they're really hard to get off. And, I mean, it can be downright fucking anger-inducing when it comes to taking those things off. So I just wore a white binder that looked a little tiny bit awkward underneath. I'm pre-op, so I had to wear a binder, and I wore like just a tank over it, but the tank was not covering because it like the bands are this thick, so the tank top was not covering it all the way, so it was a little awkward. And I didn't feel flattened enough. I felt like even with the binder on underneath a tank, it didn't flatten my chest enough or make it look right. It just looked like squished boobs underneath a tank top, which was really awkward for me. And I just wore some swim trunks. And I did not pack. So when I got out of the water, it's like all, wet and, flattened around my crotchal area. And there's, of course, nothing to be seen there. So, yeah, I didn't plan that very well. I know that some guys have a packer that they just use for, like, when they go swimming, so it can get kind of gross, like a lake packer or one for the ocean, or just a swimming pool, so it can get kind of waterlogged and disgusting because no one's going to see it, right? And you'll be in the water. So, but, I wouldn't like to really look like I have a hard little half chubby the whole time I'm going swimming. It's just really awkward for us as FTMs. It really is. And all transgender people, period. It's just really... we feel very uncomfortable about our bodies, most of us, and don't really look forward to showing off a body that we're not comfortable in. So being scantily clad in public is a very awkward thing. Yeah, so I wore that binder, and I got a weird burn, and, kind of almost like a farmer's tan. And I just felt crappy. I mean, looking around at everybody who's cisgendered, probably, and they just look so comfortable and serene laying there on the beach in their little thongs. And, the men were like, of course, like sauntering around shirtless. And meanwhile, I just look like this awkward little Jew in the corner sitting in a lawn chair with a binder on, white as a sheet. It was not fun times for me, but... there are better binders out there. All you got to do is Google search for F2M binder. I'm not altogether familiar with much more than the Underworks site, but there are a couple ones. And the binders from Japan tend to be better. They're a tad more expensive, but they are probably worth it. I mean, if you're going to be wearing this all the time, it's good to have something that's comfortable. The one I have from Underworks is not very comfortable at all. I don't think I would recommend them or buy from them again. I really don't. The Japanese site is called T-Kingdom. So if you just look up T-Kingdom, just maybe Google that. Like just put in search words T-Kingdom binders. And they have way better ones. They do. Way more comfortable, easier to get in and out of. I think they have like a zip up the side or the front, which might look a little weird, but I think maybe it's hidden. Yeah, oh, belch. And a packer's really a must, you guys, because I made the mistake of not wearing one or buying one before my trip. And I felt very embarrassed when I crawled out of that water, man, when I was walking back to my chair. It was just so fucking weird. I really hate it. It's really tough being pre-op and going swimming. It's really, you gotta really plan all around it, you know? It sucks. You can't just be carefree at the beach, you know, having fun because you're so self-conscious. I mean, you can if you can get over the fact, you know, get over your body image issues or whatever. Because the beach is really supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a carefree time where you just run around and have fun. And unfortunately, it's not usually like that for us as for we as transgender people. So, my best advice to you is pack securely. Have a separate packer for the beach, for swimming, and wear a really good binder. Make sure you have a really really good one. Don't make the same mistakes I did. It really just sucked. So I've seen a swimsuit for FTMs, but it looks like a fucking wetsuit. You might as well. I mean, it's got like I think binding within the like wetsuit type thing, but it just looks so awkward. So I don't know if you're ready for a weird tan lines, and you want to look like you're in a wetsuit the whole time. I mean, I would think it would be pretty easy to pass in that, because you can be in a wetsuit, you could be like surfing or whatever, and it's no big deal. But I think it could also get kind of hot, especially down in Georgia where I was. It was in the upper 90s with tons of humidity, and yeah, so you can look up that. I think that's also on Underworks, but everybody knows that. I haven't really seen anything other than that. I think pretty much anything made for an FTM is going to just look like a giant wetsuit. So that's not really up my alley. In fact, fuck swimming. That's not really up my alley either. I mean, I do like to go to the beach occasionally, but I don't like to put myself on display, my body on display. It's just real weird. So yeah, I know that's really all the advice I have to offer is pack and bind and find a very comfortable binder. Because you don't want to look like you ain't got no package when you come out of that water and your suit's sticking to your thighs. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to put yourself out there like that. So, you guys, I hope that was at least a little bit helpful to you. Try to have fun at the beach. Don't worry. Just try to have a good time. It's my best advice to you. Try to take your mind off of your body and just have fun in the sun. All right.